So here we are, it's Independence Day, July 4th. As you can see, Union Station, Kansas City's historic monument, is decked out in the tricolors of red, white, and blue. For our nation's holiday, we thought it'd be a good time to ride the rails, so to speak. So we're going to ride Kansas City's streetcar rail line from start to finish. It's about 4 miles. I think it might be 4 miles. We'll check it out. Right now our odometer is reading 3.61 miles because we came from the house. But let's go. So we're in the parking lot right now of Union Station. There's not a lot of traffic out, as would be expected on a holiday in the city. That may change later. Now we're passing a giant inflatable football, which is an example of really bad public art. Alright, here's the beginning of the rail system. We're entering the construction zone right now. Follow the orange cones could be the motto. Here's a section of an old streetcar track. Crosses the sidewalk there for some reason. And you're looking ahead. You see the overhead catenary system, which will carry the power. Now here's what you have to do if you're a cyclist. We got to cross these rails at a oblique angle to keep from falling in them. And they've opened the lane up here a little bit, which is good. And then it's gonna pinch down again. So we're gonna cross over again and ride down the center, which is a little tricky. You see an orange cone for some reason in the middle there. More orange cones. So maybe not the best thing right now. So let's jump back over. And now we're on a little rough road. Lights are green. Let's accelerate. Nothing worse than having to stop for the red light. So one thing you notice is the tracks are laid parallel to the road surface. Meaning, for our cars and cyclists that will be traveling in the same direction on the same road surface as the streetcar itself, passing at one of the stops back into the rail line. A lot of other construction has been happening. I don't know if it's really related to the streetcar or to people's general interest in developing the downtown, but there is a lot of it. Looks like a lot of the cones have been swept to the side for this holiday weekend. So I'm gonna make it a little easier for people in the next few days to ride the rails, so to speak. And I'm sure downtown commuters and anyone from out of town will appreciate that, because it can get confusing. Passing what will be a stop next to Anton's. I think it's called the Kaufman Center stop. Kaufman Center, just to our west. Another transit stop in the works on the right. And we're approaching downtown proper. Well, Kansas Cityans call downtown. or other people call the Loop, named because we decided some time ago to confine the area with the loop of interstate, and now in one sense the streetcar is an effort to break out of that confining loop. So back in the rails, or still in the rails. Car up ahead, you can see we're gonna have to jump over the rails to get around it. So luckily there's nobody on the streets behind me, but if there were, this could be an issue. But right now it's a simple thing. Just blip blip. And let's go back. Blip blip. Okay, a little bit of a hill there. Or what we call a hill in Kansas City. Coming up to Cosentino's. Open during construction. That's the moniker of businesses right now. Now we have another. Here's where there's more confined construction. A lot of cones. And let's go through those. There's a section right there, a little steel plate. Everyone loves a steel plate. Track that needs to be laid and aligned. A lot of stuff happening here. You can see they've marked underground, I don't know, probably electrical. I don't know the dialogue of street symbols completely. Here are at Petticoat Lane. Ouch! Pothole alert. Lots of steel plates. Active construction. More potholes. Oh! And that's basically, it looks like, where most of the construction that needs to be done, at least on the street, is in that little section there. Flattened orange cone or track. Looks like that's ready for concrete to be poured around it. Lots of steel plates, recently poured concrete. And now we're crossing the other end of the confining, or coming upon the other end that confines the downtown loop, which is I-70. This is one of the bridges. Takes a person across. It looks like that stripe is a little confusing right now. Takes some getting used to. So there's 2 lanes on this bridge, one of which will be shared. Cars, bikes, and a streetcar. Here we go. Into the River Market area. More potholes. Down to 1 lane. Gotta cross into that track. Now we got a big sweeping curve here. This is where it can get tricky on the bike if you're not paying attention. You don't want to go down in that rail, because with these tires, you're gonna have a hard time not going over. So if you get cars in front of you, you're definitely gonna have to make sure they're giving you a proper wide berth, so they don't pinch you off in a place. There's a transit stop that needs quite a bit of work. Forms are there for the concrete. Just passing the southern edge of the city market. Now we're gonna sweep back here. Okay. Then you can see up ahead we're going to have a issue right now. So we're going to have to hop over back into the roadway in a manner that doesn't trap our wheel. and then through another active, well, they're not working today, but would be an active construction zone. And a little confusing right here. Down here, this is, make a loop here, I believe. What's happening here? I'm gonna cross the tracks. There we go. The open trench sign. Always something to be careful of. And then straight ahead, down about a half a mile, is the repair facility. We're going to stop here and turn around. Essentially, so we're in the section of track that leads to the transit repair facility. We're going to take a little detour down toward the river, because as you can probably hear, 4th of July festivities are in full swing. So again, this is a section that just begins to turn back to the south. But we're going to go right on Grand Viaduct. And as you can see, there are hordes of people headed toward Riverfront Park to look at fireworks. Lots of orange cones here. My favorite bridge in Kansas City. To the left, love this bridge. Everything about it is visible, all the counterweights.
Tiene, bueno, son de calle, ¿me entiendes? Está bien construida, son de calle.
Sweet. Now we're going to go back south. Again, here's a section of riderless track. So only streetcars going home would be on this section of the track. Now we're going to go in a little bit different direction through the river market. There you can see they're picking up the track. Again, down here it kind of crosses back and forth. Looks like there's some repair for some reason, or maybe those are switches. I think that's what that was. The little switches that allow the car to go back and forth. Not exactly sure. Anyway, now we're again in the river market area. Kansas City Market. Off to our left, sleepy urban dwellers. Off to our right. Another little incline. And then I'm going to turn here on Delaware and head back toward the southern terminus. Robin greeting us. And pizza. A little early for pizza. Well, one might suggest it's never too early for pizza. Blow through that stop sign as our prerogative because we're following the law of inertia. Catch a light here, it's nice. Again, back across the interstate. That's always, this bridge here has always been one of the sort of barriers in connecting the river market with downtown and points south. The hope is, I believe, the streetcar will help alleviate some of that. I think that remains to be seen. But certainly be easier than walking. And probably as fast, or about as fast as riding your bike. Okay. Yellow light, red light. There's the flags out for the holiday. We're gonna blow that. Clear in both directions. Keep right back into the orange cone area. Some little fresh asphalt on the surface. the bane of cyclists everywhere, especially in the summer. As that tar, here's a little confusing thing. We gotta jump the rail, past the downtown transit center, city bike station, parking garages. Entry and exit of those is got to be a little problematic right now, but I guess you get used to it if you live downtown. Back through Petticoat Junction. Okay, another little incline. Okay, here's the place where rail and street pinch together. Got to make a decision here. Ride the gutter, which can be tricky. It's fine as long as there's not, we're actually riding down a repair of some kind of utility line. Sometimes those are really poorly done, as in right here. You don't think how difficult that can be for a cyclist, but it is. Death traps, we call them. Another crossover. Past Cosentino's again. Down the hill. And neither straight downhill. Past Power and Light District, AMC Theater. Right across the southern end of the downtown loop. Here we go. 670 or whatever it is, 70. Now we're on Main Street. So we came up Grand, we're going back down Main. Mostly done along here, it looks like. Street, Kansas City is one of Kansas City's most historic streets, along with 12th Street. Now, I guess this is Grand. I get confused down here sometimes with the street names, because we don't always pay attention to them when we live here. There's a car back. I'm going to jump to the right here. Another one of those utility repairs. Seems minor to people unless you're on two wheels. I'm going to ride that same kind of thing here, being very careful to make sure it hasn't sunk down. I find that utility companies are notoriously bad about doing a good job with those. There we go, back in the concrete again. Now we're in this little pinch stop portion. This can be tricky, especially when there's shit like that on the roadway. That's where all the crap connects. Trains approaching Union Station. Everyone kind of loves that sound. Looks like some kind of fuel. Big train car. I can smell it. I'm gonna jump back over here. Nearing the end of this. And it will end somewhere here, right at Union Station. See, they still have some work to do. road surface that's been taken out. And this is the end. Our odometer showing, what, 7, 8, 9. So maybe it's a little more than 4 miles. Here's that old track. And we're back. So that's what it looks like from a two-wheel perspective. Have a safe and happy 4th of July. It is the 4th of July, so blow something up, just not your hand.